Okay, do we have any pains or injuries today? Okay. All right, good day, everyone. This is Stephen Chang coming to you live from 333 Grand in downtown Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the hybrid schedule, which is in person here at 333 Grand, as well as through Zoom. You can register for class through ubindi.com, and if you're watching this on YouTube, classes are $10, and you can pay through Venmo or PayPal. Payment information on the bottom of the video, as well as my website, simhayoga.com. Today's class is open flow, level 1, level 2. If you're working with any kind of special conditions or limitations, make sure that you do modify or skip poses altogether, making good decisions about your movement practice so that you don't create any injuries or perpetuate any injuries. Now, if your lower back or your hips are tight, please elevate, sitting up on some blocks or some blankets, and that'll make it easier for you to find a lengthy, tall spine as you take a comfortable cross-legged position. All right, let the palms face up, and fingers come together, mudra, thumb and index fingers touching. Grounding evenly through your seat, elongating through your spine, and letting your shoulders broaden. Slowly start to connect to the breath, and letting the inhales even out with your exhales. And whenever you're ready, Ujjayi breath, ocean's breathing. Three arms together, inhale. Keeping the eyes closed, hands together in prayer in front of the heart, pressing the thumbs into your heart, heart back into thumbs, lifting the heart up toward the sky, setting your intention for yoga practice, devoting your practice to someone or something or to yourself, your supreme self that lives within your heart. Chanting the mantra for purification, purifying the space in which you practice yoga, call and response. Om Pavitraha, Om Pavitraha, Pavitrawa, Pavitrawa, Sarva Vushtan, Sarva Vushtan, Gatopiwa, Gatopiwa, Yaha Smarit, Yaha Smarit, Pundrikaksham, Pundrikaksham, Sapahya, Sapahya, Bihyendraha, Bihyendraha, Suchihi, Suchihi. Beginning to open the eyes, palms face up. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, right ear to the right shoulder, right hand to the left side, elongating through the left side of the neck. And chin toward the right shoulder, continue to pull gently to the back of the head. Release back to center, drop the right hand, left ear to the left shoulder, left hand to the right side. And then chin toward the left shoulder, continue to pull gently to the back of the head. Release back to center, drop left hand, chin toward the chest, big circles with the head in one direction, ear to one side, roll it back. Opposite side, roll the center. Take a few more rounds in that direction. And then one more giant circle, chin back toward the chest and pause. And then taking the opposite direction. And then one more giant circle, chin back toward the chest. And then lifting the chin parallel to the floor, neutral spine. Extending the legs forward, separating your feet. Hands supporting to either side and turning your toes towards each other. And then roll them out. Draw in, roll out. Draw in. Outer rotation, circling. to center. Switch them around, inner rotations. And then back to center again. Cross your shins, take the opposite shin on top. So this is your non-dominant crossing of the legs, taking the arms up high, extending. Exhale, twist to the right. Come back to center, arms up. Twist to your left. Back to center again. Side bends, right hand down, left arm overhead. Take back up again, other side. Back to center again, legs forward, forward fold. Come back to center, swing the legs back behind you, down dog, and start to pedal out the legs, walk it out, side to side. All right, coming back to stillness in your down dog. Inhale, raise your right leg up, three-legged dog. On the exhale, right knee in toward the nose and round the spine. Inhale, kick up, open up the hips, bend the right knee. Re-extend the right leg, stepping it forward, warrior one, arms up high and extend. Take the left hand to grab the right wrist, extend up and side bending to your left. Come back to center, switch hands, extend, side bending to the right. Back to center again, arms up, hands together in prayer. Interlace your fingers, press your palms forward, and round your mid and upper back, chin toward the chest. Take it back to neutral, reaching the palms up and leaning back slightly for back bend. Come back up to vertical, releasing for warrior one. Open it up for warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Side angle. You can modify elbow to top of the knee or the right hand to the floor if you can touch down easily. Left arm reaching up. Inhale, take it back up, reverse warrior. Hands to the floor, right foot, stepping back, plank. Inhale, one breath, exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. 3 progressive cobras, hands alongside the rib cage. Lift up, baby cobra, belly, lower ribs stay on the floor, lifting the upper back. Exhale, lower almost all the way down. Inhale, lift up a little higher, belly, lower ribs away from the floor. Exhale, lower almost all the way down. Inhale, lift up even higher. If you have full extension of your arms, take it for full cobra. Of course, you can always bend your elbows if you need. All the way down, child's pose, seat toward the heels and fold. Keeping your knees on the floor on the inhale as you rise up. Lift the feet away from floor as you then shift forward for a push-up and assisted push-up. Exhale, press it back to child's pose. 3 times. Inhale, lift up. Lift your heels, come forward, bend the elbows, chaturanga. Press back up, and then lower all the way back onto child's pose. One more time. Inhale, lift your heels as well, coming forward, bending the elbows, chaturanga. Press back up, and make your way back to child's pose. Down dog. Inhale, raise your left leg up. Exhale, left knee in toward the nose. Kick it up, open up the hips and bend the left knee. Re-extend the left leg, stepping it forward. Warrior one, arms up high and extend. Right hand touching your left wrist, pull up, and then side bending over to the right. Back to center, switch hands, extend, side bending to your left. Come back to center again, arms up, hands together in prayer, interlace with the opposite thumb on top. Press forward, round your mid and upper back, chin toward the chest. On the inhale, lift up, lean back for a slight back bend. Come back to vertical, releasing for warrior one. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle, modifying elbow to the knee or the hand to the floor, right arm reaching up for the full expression of the side angle. Inhale, take it back up, reverse warrior. And then hands to the floor, left foot, stepping back, plank. Inhale, one breath. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Again, 3 progressive cobras. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Belly, lower ribs stay on the floor, lifting the upper back. Exhale, lower almost all the way down. Inhale, lift up a little bit higher. Belly, lower ribs away from the floor. Exhale, lower almost all the way down. Inhale, lift up even higher. Full extension of your arms for cobra, or slight bending at the elbows to modify. All the way down, child's pose. Feet toward the heels and folding forward. Again, same as before, the modified variation of the push-up. Inhale, as you lift up, come forward, lifting the heels, then shifting forward to bend the elbows for the chaturanga. Press back up into the modified plank, and then child's pose. 2 more times. Inhale up, forward, bending the elbows for chaturanga. Press back up, shifting back, child's pose. Inhale, lift, forward, chaturanga. Press it back up, back, and then child's pose. Down dog. Inhale, right heel up. Exhale, right knee in toward the nose. Kick it up, open up the hips and bend the right knee. Right knee outside of the right arm in touch. Kick back up, stepping your right foot forward. Warrior one, arms up high and extending. Bending your right elbow, left hand to right elbow, side bending over to your left again. So this time we're shortening the arms, bending at the elbows. Inhale, coming back up. We extend, switch sides. Bend your left elbow, right hand to left elbow, side bending to the right. Take it back to center, release. Take the hands to the waist. Draw the elbows forward as you round your upper back, chin toward the chest. Lift the chest, draw the shoulders back, gaze up. Keep the gaze looking up, releasing the arms to either side, extending through your fingertips. On the exhale, bow forward, a devotional warrior modification. Your hands are out in a Y position or a V position as you bow forward toward the floor, crown of the head toward the floor. Take it back up, warrior one. Open it up, warrior two. Triangle, lengthening out the right leg, right hand to top of the shins if you're less flexible in the hamstrings. Right hand to the floor if you can touch down easily, left arm reaching up. Inhale, take it back up, reverse triangle. Bend the front knee, hands to the floor, right foot stepping back, plank. Inhale, one breath, exhale, this time, knees, chest, and chin. Knees to the floor, bending of the elbows, chest and chin toward the floor. Inhale, glide the heart forward for cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left heel up. Left knee in toward the nose. Kick up, open up the hips and bend left knee. Left knee to the outside of the left arm in touch. Kick back up, stepping the left foot forward, warrior one. Bend the left elbow, right hand to left elbow, side bending, over to the right. Back to center, re-extend, bend your right elbow, side bending to your left. Take it back up to center, hands to your waist, draw the elbows forward, round the upper back, chin toward the chest. Lift back up, draw the elbows back, lift the gaze up for the back bend. Then keep the back bend. Release the arms out in a V position, extending to your fingertips. Exhale, bow forward, a modified version of devotional warrior. Crown of the head toward the floor. Arms are reaching up in a V position. Take it back up, warrior one. Open it up, warrior two. Triangle, lengthening out the left leg. Left hand to top of the shin if you're less flexible. Left hand to the floor if you're more flexible. Right arm up. Inhale all the way back up, reverse triangle. Bend the front knee, hands to the floor, left foot, stepping back plank. Inhale one breath, exhale knees, chest, and chin. Draw the knees down, bending the elbows. Chest and chin to touch down if you can, and then glide the heart forward into a cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right heel up. Exhale, right knee in towards the nose. Kick up, open up the hips and bend the right knee. Right knee outside of the right arm and touch. Kick it back up. Knee comes into twist, touching left arm. Kicking it back up. Stepping the right foot forward. Warrior one. Hands together in prayer in front of the heart. Interlace your fingers. Press your palms forward. Lengthen front leg, reach up high. Bend the front knee, press forward, and twist to the right. 3 times. Square center, lengthen and reach up. Bend, press forward, and twist. Square center, lengthen and reach up. Bend, press forward, and twist. Staying here in the twist. Square back to center, releasing hands. Wrap the hands back behind you, interlace. Broaden your shoulders, reach your knuckles back. As you take the gaze to look up, ecstatic warrior, heart opener, back bending. And then leading with the heart center forward, devotional warrior. As you go as far as you can, then let the head release. As you bow down, knuckles reach up. Inhale, take it back up. Warrior one. Open it up. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Extend it, side angle. Again, modifying elbow to the knee or the hand to the floor, and the left palm face down, reach forward. Inhale, take it all the way back up, reverse warrior. Extended triangle, lengthen out the right leg, right hand to top of the shin or to the floor, and the left palm face down, reach forward. Inhale, take it all the way back up, reverse triangle. Bend the front knee, hands to the floor, right foot, stepping back plank. Inhale, one breath. Exhale this time, full push-up, chaturanga. Inhale, forward and up, up dog, so your feet are, your toes are reaching back, you're on the tops of the feet, and then your knees are off the floor, thighs off the floor. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left heel up. Left knee in toward the nose. Kick up, open up the hips and bend the left knee. Left knee outside of the left arm and touch. Kick it back up. Knee comes into twist, touching your right arm. Kick it back up. Stepping left foot forward. Warrior one. Hands together in prayer. Interlace your fingers with the other thumb on top. Pressing your palms forward. Inhale, lengthen front leg, reach up high. Bend the front knee, press forward, and twist to your left. Square center, lengthen and reach up. Bend, press forward, and twist. Square center, lengthen, reach up. Bend, press forward, and twist, and stay here in the twist. Square back, releasing your hands. Wrap the hands back behind you. So again, other thumb on top. Broaden your shoulders, reach your knuckles back. Take the gaze to look up as you take your back bend. Ecstatic warrior. Then leading with heart center forward. As you come forward, then releasing your head, crown of the head toward the floor as you reach your knuckles up and overhead. Release. Take it back up. Warrior one. Open it up. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle. Modifying elbow to the knee or the hand to the floor. Right palm face down. Reach forward. Inhale all the way back up. Reverse warrior. Lengthen out the left leg. Extended triangle. Left hand to top of the shin or to the floor. Right palm face down. Reach forward. Take it back up again. Reverse triangle. Bend the front knee. Hands to the floor. Left foot stepping back. Plank. Inhale one breath. Exhale chaturanga. Inhale up dog. Exhale down dog. Start to walk your feet forward toward your hands and take yogic squat. Toes are turning out, heels are touching down if it's possible, right? If your Achilles or your ankles are tight and you have to be on your toe tips, keep your hands on the floor for support as you take your yogic squat, right? So like this, right? With your hands on the floor. Otherwise, heels down, hands together in prayer. If you're taking your hands together in prayer, press your elbows to your inner thighs, hands together, and then press your thighs toward each other so you're squeezing through your inner thighs. Release your hands to the floor. Start to lift your feet and turn your heels out. So now your feet are parallel and about match width distance. Go ahead and sway out your hips side to side to release some of that tension. All right, come back to center to stillness. Left hand comes to floor toward the center line, creating a tripod. Bend your left knee, keep your right leg extended. Raise your right arm up to twist. Right hand behind you, half bind and twist deeper. Raise your right arm back up, kick the gaze to the floor for balance, bend both knees. Shift the weight to your right foot, revolved half moon, left heels reaching back. Now once you stabilize, actively reach your left heel back, right arm up to twist. If this is easy and you want to bind right hand to your left foot and then kick back. Again, take the gaze down to the floor for balance, releasing your left foot. Take both hands to the floor for support, and then seated spinal twist. Left knee behind the right heel, and gently taking your seat down. So if you're taking the full pose, right, if your hips are open enough to allow you to ground both seats to the floor, then it's the right leg over your left. Make sure you ground the right foot. If that's not possible, and your hips are really tight, then take the left leg extending forward, right foot over, and this should make it easier for you to sit down easily on both sides of your seat. Right hand to the floor behind you, left arm is up, inhale, exhale, twist to the right. So again, both seats should be grounded to the floor evenly, right, as you take your twist. If the full pose is very difficult for you with the left heel drawn in and your right seat is off the floor and you're twisting like this, right? With the right seat down, you're not very stable and you're lopsided. If this is very tight for you with the left heel drawn in, then take the left leg extending forward, then you should be able to ground evenly through both seats. Inhale, take it back to center, keep whatever leg variation you have, and counter twist to your left. Square that back to center, extend both legs forward, and if your seat is off to one side, go ahead and even out your seat. Legs forward, inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, release that action a little bit. Exhale, can you go a little bit deeper? Release the action a little bit again. Exhale. Can you go even deeper? Now, staying in that fold with your left hand, grab the outer right leg or outer right foot. Once you have that resistance of the hand grabbing to the leg or to the foot, reach your right arm up and behind you, half bind. Pressing the top of the right hand to your lower back, draw the front of the right shoulder back in space as you rotate to face the right and maybe even slightly behind you. Take the gaze to look forward. Release your right hand. Wrap the right arm to the outer left foot. Inhale, relengthen. Exhale, fold. Now, keeping your right hand to your left foot or the outer left leg, releasing your left hand behind you. Expand it out. Left hand behind you to a half bind. Press your hand to your lower back. Draw the front of the left shoulder back in space. Rotate deeper to your left, and then maybe even look slightly behind you. Once you have that, inhale. Exhale, maybe pull into your left leg to go a little bit deeper into your twist. Stay low. Take the gaze forward. Sweep the left arm around, grabbing the outer right foot. Inhale, relengthen. Exhale, by bending the elbows, draw forward even more deeply. Begin to release. Make your way back up. Take the hands slightly back behind you, fingertips pointing forward. Bend your knees, step the feet out about hips width, tabletop. Lift the seat. As you draw the shoulders to open, if your neck is strong and healthy enough to drop your head back, you can. If that doesn't feel good for your neck, keep the gaze looking forward instead. Gently start to take the seat down. Walk your feet in toward each other. Inner thighs together if you can. Grab the back of the legs. Shift back toward the sacrum. Raise your shins. Now, if you tend to round your spine and chin toward the chest a lot, now I want you to think about lifting your chest, leaning the head back slightly, and really imagine a neutral spine, one straight line that is at a diagonal. Once you stabilize here, if you can free up your hands to reach forward, go ahead and reach your hands forward. If you're able to extend the legs fully, go ahead. If that's not possible for you, keep your knees bending. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the elbows, cross your shins, bend your knees, cross your shins, hands forward, walk, jump back, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Start to walk your feet forward toward your hands. Yogic squat again. Toes turn out, heels turn in. Draw the heels down and keep your heels down if you can. You can always walk your feet slightly wider, and that might make it easier. Once you have that, hands together in prayer, press your elbows into your inner knees back into your elbows, and then using that resistance to get some hip opening and lower back stretch. So again, if your heels cannot touch down, I would like you to take your hands to the floor for support, because if you're on your tiptoes and you're trying to balance here, right? If you lose your balance, you might hurt your ankles, right? And twist your ankles. So let's avoid injuries if we can. All right, take the hands back to the floor. Gently lift your seat up. Turn the heels wide. So now you're about mat's width distance and in a forward fold. You can sway out your hips side to side. All right, coming back to center. Right hand walks to the center line, creating a tripod. Bend your right knee, keep the left leg extended, and raise your left arm up to twist with a half bind. Left hand behind you to the lower back. Right, notice by bending this right knee and keeping your left leg extended to twist your left, it makes it so much more comfortable for your lower back and your hips, right? Of course, if you have the flexibility, you can keep both legs fully extended as you twist. All right, take the gaze to the floor for balance. Bend both knees. Shift the weight to your left foot. Raise your left arm back up, and then reach your right heel back. Revolved half moon. Actively extend the right heel back. Actively extend the left arm up. You may stay here in revolved half moon. Those of us who took the bind, left hand to bind to the right foot, and then kick back. All right, release both hands to the floor. And then seated spinal twist. So again, right knee behind the left heel as you gently take your seat down. So this is the full variation, right? For some of us, this might be really tight for the hips, and then you cannot ground the left seat, right? So if that is the case, you want to extend the right heel forward. Full extension of the right leg, left leg over, and this will ground your seats evenly. Left hand is behind, your right arm is up. Inhale, exhale, twist to your left. Right, so again, this is the half variation with the bottom leg extending forward so you can ground both feet. If you have the hip flexibility to take the full seated spinal twist, the bottom leg, your right heel draws in toward the left seat, and then you're taking the twist here. Release, back to center, keep the legs as they are, whatever variation you have, and then counter twisting to the right. Square back to center, extend both legs forward, and if you're off to one side, center your seat along your mat. This time, let's take the feet about mat width distance. Inhale, take the arms up high, extend. Exhale, leaning forward, grabbing the inner heels or the inner legs, anywhere along the legs. Then re-lengthen your spine. Try to find a neutral spine. Then on the exhale, hinge at the hips, drawing forward through that neutral spine to come into the forward fold. Now, when you are very methodical about keeping the lengthiness of the spine or a neutral spine, you're going to feel a lot more stretch to your lower back and then also the back of the legs. Right? So if all you do is round the spine, then you're really not getting the benefits of the stretch of the lower back because you're not creating that tension that you're looking for in a forward fold. All right, starting to lift back up. Bend your knees, step the feet to the floor again, walk your hands back behind you. Fingertips are pointing forward, and then lift the seat, coming into your tabletop again. Again, if your neck is strong and healthy, you can drop your head back comfortably. Or if that doesn't feel good for you, look forward instead. Take the seat back down. This time, you're going to take yogic toe lock to your big toes. Shift back toward the sacrum and balance, and then extend the legs out in a V position. Now, as you extend the legs out, if you cannot fully extend the legs and you have to keep a bending of the knees, that is perfectly fine. If you're able to fully extend, extend. Now, if you're comfortable here, rather than flexing through the heels and reaching through your heels, I want you to press through your big toes and your toe mounts so that you're really pushing through with the fronts of your feet so that you can better extend the legs and the arms. So use that tension of your toes, almost feeling like you're going into your tippy toes, right? By pushing through your toes, right? Going into dorsiflexion. I think there's dorsiflexion. I always mix them up. Then you can get better extension through your arms. Now, once you're balanced and feeling pretty good, if you can release your hands, and holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees, crossing at the shins. Walk your hands forward. Walk it back to your down dog. Inhale, right heel up. Stepping your right foot forward, crescent moon, left knee comes down. Take extra padding to your left knee as you need, so towels, blankets. If you don't have anything, you can always double fold your mat. Left side folding towards center will double up the cushioning to your knees. Once you're set with the base of the pose, your legs, hands to top of the thighs, and lunge forward. Let's get into the left quad stretch. Let's stay here with your hands supporting first. And let's really feel for that quad stretch. Then start to press your hands into your right thigh. And then think about your belly leaning away from your thighs and the upper torso leaning back. And that will start to initiate your back bend. Then gently looking up at a slight angle. Right? You're not looking straight up, which crunches the back of the neck. It's overstretching. You just want to go along with your spinal back bend, right? Your upper back bend, leaning back, the cervical spine relatively neutral and looking forward at a slight angle. So that's roughly about 45 degrees for most of us. All right, once you have that set and you're comfortably stabilized here, reaching the arms up in the Venus Mudra. Index fingers pointing, interlacing all the other fingers. Now, if your shoulders are tight, maybe arms are slightly forward. If you're able to line up your arms around the ears, if you have even more mobility into your shoulders, go further back. Alternatively, if this is really tight for your shoulders, you can separate your arms about shoulders width. You can even go in a Y position. If that is even tough because of maybe shoulder injuries, you can bend your elbows. Right? So all of those are modifications. Gently releasing hands to the floor, half split, hands to either side of the right foot. Tuck the left toes under and shift back into a half split. So your hips are lining up over your left knee, tuck your left toes under, and then flex your right foot as well. And with both hands supporting to either side, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, keeping again a neutral spine, hinge at the hips, draw forward. Think about the right hip actively drawing back and pulling against your right heel that's grounded to the floor, and that will give you even more tension to the back of the legs for stretch. All right, beginning to break as you shift forward, stepping your right foot back, you're going to turn the right toes out at an angle and let the right side also turn out roughly about the same angle. Walking hands forward about a foot for lizard. If you can, lower your forearms down to the floor. If that's really difficult for you and you have blocks, you can take blocks to your forearms, elevation. If you don't have any assists with props, you can keep your arms extended and just actively lean the hips forward. Lifting the elbows up, walk your hands back in, turn the right toes back forward. Now, I'm going to give you two options for the half virasana. If you have the flexibility in the hips, right, you're going to take the left foot and angle it off to the corner of the mat, slightly wider to the side. As you then shift back, you're going to try to sit on the floor. So your heel is to the outside of the hip, away from the hip, and you should be able to insert your hand in between the outer left hip, outer left thigh, and the inner left heel. So you're sitting all the way down if you can. And then, if you're not able to, that's too tight for you. You're going to keep the heel directly behind you, and you're going to sit on the heel instead. All right, so this is acting as elevation for your seat. So this will make it easier for you to sit down if you can. Then you're going to take hands to either side, elongate through the spine. Normally, I'll take a forward fold, but today I'll take it easy with a neutral spine instead so that you're stretching your left quads, left knee, left shin, left top of the foot. All right, so if you're modifying, you're sitting on the heel. If you're not modifying, you're taking half virasana. Your foot should be away from your seat, and you should be sitting down. And then keeping both hands elongating through the spine. So this could be quite intense for the front of the left leg. So go easy if you can. All right, starting to break with your hands supporting. Lift the feet back up. Step the right foot down. Now you're going to heel toe your right foot a little bit wider to the side of the mat, the right side of the mat. Hands to support to either side. Tuck the left toes under. Lift the knee. And you're going to lunge a little bit deeper. So if you need to make the adjustment of the right foot crawling forward a little bit, go ahead and make the right foot forward a little bit more. Then you're going to start to dig the right shoulder underneath the right knee, and this is your airplane. So hands can go to either side, supporting here, and just let the hips get heavy and stay here. If you're able to free up your hands to reach your arms out to either side, this is your airplane. All right, release your hands back to the floor to the inside of the right foot. Pyramid, slightly wider pyramid. So lengthening out over the right leg, hands to either side. Hands to the inside of the right foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Now, if you are having a difficult time here, lengthening the right leg, you can always keep a slight bending of the knee, right? If that's better for you. Or if you have blocks, you can take blocks to the inside of the right foot and then lengthening to fold. If this is easy for you, you can lift the foot off the floor and pivot to your right heel, and this will give you more stretch to the back of the right leg. Begin to step the right foot back down. Regular half moon. Right hand forward about a foot, look off to right side. Tip forward to stand on the right leg. Reach your left heel back. So you want to flex your left foot and start to rotate the hips and your shoulders to the left side so that you're stacking your shoulders and your hips one over the other and rotating the torso to your left. This is your half moon. If this is easy and you want to bind left hand to left foot and kick back, if you want to take the full balance, both hands to your left foot. So this is your free hand balancing on the right leg in your Chapasana. Right? Otherwise, right hand to floor, left heel back, left arm up, regular half moon. All right, let's break, step it back, warrior two. Reverse warrior, hands to the floor, right foot, stepping back, plank. Inhale, one breath. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left heel up, stepping, left foot forward, crescent moon, right knee comes down. So again, take extra padding to right knee if you need to, whatever you need. Repeat what you did on the first side. Hands to top of the thighs and just actively lunging the hips forward. All right, once you have your hips moving forward actively, then pressing your hands to the top of the thighs. Think about, again, your belly leaning away from your thighs as you lean the upper torso back and gently looking up, holding here. And then when you're ready, arms up, Venus Mudra. Alrighty, releasing your hands to the floor, half split. Hands to either side of the left foot, tuck the right toes under. You're going to shift the hips back in space. You're going to line up the hips over your right knee, vertical line with your right thigh. Flex your left foot, hands to either side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. All right, when you're ready to break, as you step the left foot down, you're going to turn the left toes out at an angle to the side, 30 to 45 degrees. And then left thigh also turns out at the same angle, or roughly the same angle. Walk your hands forward about a foot and lowering your forearms if you're able to, using your forearms to a block as an assist, or full extension of your arms, right? And just leaning the hips forward if your hips are really tight and you cannot lower any further with your upper torso. All right? Lifting the elbows back up, walk your hands back in. Turn the left toes forward. So again, half Virasana or the modified Virasana. So half Virasana, the full half Virasana, is turning your foot out a little bit wider. So that as you shift back to sit down, you can sit with the foot a little bit wider. You should be able to insert your hand in between your your outer right thigh and your inner right heel, right? If you can. If that is not possible, you're not going to turn the foot out. You're going to keep it straight back behind you, shift back, and sit on that heel. Essentially, using the heel as a block that you're sitting on to elevate. Once you're there, whichever version you have, let's just find a lengthy, tall spine. You don't have to go any deeper than that. Right? So depending on your hip flexibility, knee flexibility, and the ankle flexibility, it might be pretty easy or rather difficult. All right, let's start to break with the assist of the hands. You're going to lift back up, step the left foot back down. When you step the left foot back down, you're going to heel toe your left foot a little bit wider. Taking the hands to support, tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee, and coming into a low lunge. All right, if your foot is way far back because of the way you came up, then either walk your hands back and shift back, or walk your feet further forward. All right? So once you have that measured out, you can start to dig the left shoulder underneath, hands to either side to frame your left foot. If this is good enough, stay here. If you can free up your hands to reach out to either side for your airplane, go ahead and take that. All right, hand to the inside of the left foot. So this is a slightly wider stance on your pyramid. Then lengthening over your left leg, shifting back into your pyramid. So again, full extension of your left leg. You can keep a slight bending of the knees or use blocks as elevation for your hands to the inside of the left foot. So again, we're taking a slightly wider stance on your pyramid. If this is good enough, stay here. If you pivot it to your heel and raise your sole of the foot on the first side, you're going to do the same on the second side. So this is much more intense for the back of the left leg. All right, then begin to step the left foot back down, bending your left knee. Half moon, regular half moon. Left hand forward about a foot from your left toes, a little bit off to left side. Shift forward to balance on the left leg. Right heel strongly reaching back, flexing of the foot. Stack the right side over your left, raising right arm up. So this is your half moon. You're looking to stack your shoulders and your hips, rotating to the right. Now, if you're going further to bind, bend your right knee, grab the outside of the right foot with your right hand. This is your half Chapasana, half variation of that sugar cane. If your balance is good here, you can free up both hands to grab either side of the right foot. Go ahead and take the full Chapasana. Begin to break. Step it all the way back into Warrior Two. Reverse Warrior. Chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Start to walk your feet forward toward your hands, coming to the front of the mat. Then take the feet together and the knees together. Bend the knees and rise up for chair. Stepping on the right foot, let's go with the right foot. Pick up the left knee. Left hand to left knee, right arm out to the side. If you have better extension, yogic toe lock and extend. Once you're nicely balancing, open up the heel of the knee to the left side. Stay on the right leg, tree pose. Bend your left knee, solve the left foot in a right thigh, above or below the knee joint. And then once you're balancing, arms up in a wide position. Take the arms back up. Square the left knee forward. Step the left down, back to chair. Hands together in prayer. Twist to your left. Hook the right arm to outer left knee. Once you have that positioning, make sure your knees and your feet are lined up. And then press your hands together in prayer and twist deeper. If this is good enough, you're staying here. If you're going for side crow, hands to the floor to your left side. Shift left and forward, and maybe your feet come off the floor. All right, release, square back, arms up chair. Wrap the hands back behind you, interlace. Broaden, looking up. Lengthen, dive forward. Releasing your hands, bend the knees, come up to chair. Stepping on the left foot, pick up the right knee. Right hand to your right knee, left arm out to counterbalance. If you're taking yogic toe lock, go ahead and extend. Once you're nicely balancing and you're ready, open up the knee or the heel to the right side. Stay on the left leg, bend your right knee for tree, solve the right foot in a left leg, above or below the knee joint, and then arms up in a wide position. Take the arms back up, step the right foot down, come back to chair, hands together in prayer, twisting to the right, hooking your left arm to outer right knee, making sure that your knees are lined up, hands together in prayer, and twist. Stay here, or side crow, hands to your right, shift right and forward, and maybe you can balance on your hands. Inhale, square back to chair. Wrap the hands back behind you. Other interlacing of your hands. Broaden your shoulders, look up, and then lengthen, dive forward. Release your hands to the floor, regular crow. Hands forward, about 1.5 feet from your toes. Palms flat, middle fingers point straight forward. I like to come really low down in a crouching position first. Then bend the arms back in space. Take the knees to the back of the arms or to the side of the arms. Keeping your elbows bent, the entire body shifts forward. The gaze to the floor, slightly ahead of you. Then as you shift forward, elbows line up over your wrists And when that happens, maybe your toes can get light enough to lift. Draw the elbows inwards a little bit. Yes, good. So think about squeezing in toward the center line so your arms are active and strong. A little bit better. All right? All right. So again, so as last week, right? The elbows were splayed out a little bit, which destabilizes you. Draw the elbows in and actively in, and that might keep you more stable. Now keep in mind this. You don't have to have the knees way up high in the back of the arms. I actually take my knees right behind the elbows. The reason is because there's less flesh here, which means it's less shaky. Also, you don't have to be as flexible, right? You don't have to basically fold in as deeply. It's a little bit easier. Try that and see if it's a little bit easier for you. All right, so behind the elbows, right above the elbows is maybe good enough. And that might make it less intense for you in terms of like having to fold in. So for me, because I don't have a lot of flexibility, what happens is when I take my knees to back of the arms, it doesn't require for me to fold as um, strongly in before I set up for the pose. Makes it a lot easier for me. Oop. So that time it slid. But so I don't know if you felt the difference when you go higher up and it's meatier. The fleshy part like gets a little bit shaky, right? So that's why I like to go a little bit closer toward the elbow. So this bonier part makes it less for me. So experiment and play with what feels good. All right. All right. Make your way back to down dog. All right. So something like that always requires for you to kind of experiment and find what spot really works for you. It might be different for all of us. All right, once you have settled in to your down dog, pigeon, left leg up. Draw that left knee in, land that shin to the floor, pointed toe position. Left thigh angles out 30 to 45 degrees over to your left. With your hands supporting, inch your right knee as far back as you can so you can lower your seat, which then gives you much more stretch in your left glutes. Untuck your toes, reach back, and then walk your hands back, elongate through the spine. Right? So as you adjust here, right, notice this. If you're higher up with your seat, right, and with your knee down, when you fold forward, see how high up my hips are? You're really not getting much of a stretch here. What you want to do is get your seat closer toward the floor, and the way to do that is to inch your right knee further back so you can lower your seat. Once you have the lower seat, you're beginning to feel the stretch. You also want to make sure you lift up and find a lengthy spine so you're nice and level. If you're sitting down on one side, I'll give you a back view here. All right, so this is what we want. If you're sitting down on one side, for you not to fall off to a side, you end up curving your spine to the center. So now your spine is all out of whack, right? So you don't want that either to come into a forward fold. You want to be balancing on your shin. If you're very flexible, maybe your left seat closer toward the floor. For most of us, we are not touching down. We are slightly elevated. You just want your hips to be level. You want the thigh to be out of the way of the belly by angling off to the side. You want to be balanced. And once you're set, walking your hands forward, forearms down. Notice that the hips are not collapsing on either side. Your hips are relatively level to the floor, which then gives you a nice stretch your left glute, left thigh, left knee, left shins. And you're balanced here. All right, you can stay in your forearms or you can make pillows with your hands. Alrighty, let's start to walk it back in. Tuck the right toes under and gently press it back to down dog. And then take lots of movement side to side, pedaling out the legs. So you're moving your hip joints and knee joints around a little bit, particularly for the left side. Also, movement will bring more circulation back to your legs and neutralizing the legs. All right, when you're ready, let's take it to the second side, the right side. Right leg up. As you draw the knee in toward the nose, you're in a pointed toe position, landing the shin to the floor. You want the right thigh angling up to side 30 to 45 degrees with your hands supporting. Inch your left knee further back so you can lower your seat, untuck the toes, walk your hands back, elongate through the spine. You should feel like your hips are relatively level and not sitting off to one side. If you're sitting on to one side, in order not to fall, you're curving your spine, which we do not want. You want levelness in the hips, a vertical spine. If you did this right, you might not even need your hands. Then when you're ready, walk your hands forward, forearms down. You can stay with your forearms down or make pillows with the hands. All right, so I also want to demonstrate then the front thigh. All right, you want to angle your thigh off to the side, away from the center line, because you actually want to create a triangle in which you're balancing on. And then when you come forward with the thigh turned out, it's no longer obstructing your belly, right? So it's because it's angled out to the side, you have more space. Alternatively, if you don't do that and your thighs are in front of you, notice how the thigh gets in the way of the belly. Then, even though you're sitting on top of the belly, you might be comfortable in terms of like the depth of the pose. You're getting no stretch to your glutes and to the proper place, which is the glutes and your outer legs, right? And then also you're not getting the depth that you might be able to achieve because your thigh is just in the way of the belly. Notice again, the thigh out of the way of the belly. As you draw down, you can just get so much closer to the floor so that you can get a lot more stretch. Right? So the thigh away from the belly, creating a triangle to balance on. Alrighty, let's make your way back up. Walk your hands back in, tuck the left toes under, and press back to the down dog. And again, take lots of movement for neutralization and circulation. All right, starting to walk your feet forward toward your hands, taking your seat down. All right, let's take the soles of feet together, knees apart, drawing your heels in. Baddha Konasana, grabbing the ankles. Inhale, lengthen. Try to keep as much of that length as possible as you hinge at the hips to draw forward for the forward fold. As you take it forward, leading with heart center forward, neutral spine. If you want to press your elbows to your inner thighs for more hip opening, you can. So go only as far forward as you can maintain this neutral spine. Start to release. Let the feet come forward a little bit, maybe about 6 inches forward. You can grab your feet from the inner feet or thread the arms underneath And in this pose, your Tadasana with an R. You can round the spine in your forward fold. So it's a very easy, gentle forward fold with a rounded spine. So with this, it's just meant to be kind of quieting and kind of soft versus a very tense forward fold. So this is Tadasana with an R. All right, start to make your way back up. Extend the legs forward with your hands supporting. Slowly lower onto your back. Draw the left knee in, keep the right leg extended. Left arm out to a T or downwards alongside the hips, your choice. And then rolling over to the right for your reclined twist. Taking it back to center. Switch legs, switch arms, twist to the other direction. Inhale, take it back to center, hugging both knees in. And when you're ready, step the feet to the floor, slide the legs forward. Shavasana, final relaxation. Toes are turned out, arms alongside the body with palms facing up. Eyes are closed, lips touching, soft, easy breaths. And slowly start to draw your breath back in, moving your fingers and your toes. And then reaching the arms overhead, stretching in opposite directions. Rolling over to the right and come up to a cross-legged position. Let the non-dominant shin be on top so that you can use your non-dominant side a little bit more to even out. Then reconnecting to an even seat, lengthy spine, shoulders broad, breath deep, and let the neck be free. Inhale for Om. Hands together in prayer, bowing forward, sealing in the practice. Inhale, come up. Namaste. Thank you for being here today. And thank you for sharing your practice with me. My name is Stephen Chang, coming to you live from 333 Grand in downtown Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the hybrid schedule, which is in person here at 333 Grand, as well as through Zoom. You can register for class through ubindi.com, and if you're watching this on YouTube, classes are $10, and you can pay through Venmo or PayPal. Payment information on the bottom of the video, as well as my website, simhayoga.com. Thank you again for joining me. See you next time.